is Sunday, 29th of September 1963, and the New York Mets are visiting the Houston Colt 45s. The game you are about to listen to is a reconstruction 62 years after the original game. Information was sourced from several sites and records, including retrosheet.org and sportsreference.com. This broadcast should not be considered a complete or fully accurate historical record. Nevertheless, this is our story of the game.
And thank you as always to the team over there in the libraries to bring us the latest edition of the Book Club. Later on today on the station we will be having a look forward towards the World Series taking place in just a few days' time. But for now, the 162 games of the season closes out as you join us here, the New York Mets. It's their 162nd game of the season. Visit the Houston Colt 45s also on their last game, 162 of the season as well. Both teams are locked into their finishing positions in the league. Houston are 9th, 34 games back from the Dodgers in the National. New York Mets 48 back as well. But this is a chance for the teams to go into the postseason on a high with a victory. And it's not just that, it's the rubber match as well from this 3-game series with 1 game apiece for the teams. We'll have a little look back at them shortly as we just look down out onto the field here at Colt Stadium, and we're getting ready to take to the field. Time for the defensive lineups now from the Houston Colt 45s. You left, centre, right, across the top. You're going to have Jim Wynn in left, Ivan Morel in centre, and John Pachurek is going to be in right field, make his major league debut today. Shortstop Glenn Vaughn, and then you Ted Rogers 3-2-1 across the middle. Bob Aspromonte, Joe Morgan, and Rusty Staub are your 3-2-1. Catching is going to be John Bateman, and on the mound is going to be Chris Zachary. And well, we've got a couple of interesting pitcher matchups. It is the last game of the season, but for many this is going to be the first game of 1964 as they look to put a marker in the ground to try and get in the teams that will go through spring training and take the field again March, April next year. Umpires for the game: Paul Pryor is going to be your home plate umpire, and the crew chief Frank Sicori is going to be cover on first. Frank Walsh will be looking at second, and Ken Burkett will be keeping an eye over on third base. Just looking down now, we are getting underway. Timed that quite nicely actually, and as always is myself, Ewan Spence, taking you through the game here from the booth high above Colt Stadium. And well, it'll be the last time I'll be sitting here, certainly at Colt Stadium, but more on that as we get ready to take the game underway. Here your 1, 2, 3 for the Mets is going to be Ed Kranepool, Duke Carmel, and Ron Hunt. Chris Zachary returns for his 8th start of the season here for the Colt 45s. We're getting ready to go underway. The point comes from our home plate umpire there, Paul Pryor, and we are underway. Zachary opens, throws down with a ball as that goes too low on that one there, and the count goes to 1-0. Kranepool just taking a little moment to gather his breath, coming in with a 2.09, relatively low, but looking again, as we said, to make that impression on the start, getting ready for the second pitch. Contact made, goes out towards, and it's comfortably picked up. Joe Morgan at short, and that's underneath the Rusty Star for 1 away there. And Zachary just giving a nod back over to his infield there, and Morgan with the point. Duke Carmel steps in now, earning 240 for the season. Takes the moment now to gather himself and see where we're going now. Zachary gets ready, pitch comes down, that's low as well for ball 1. Carmel just taking his time Doing a little bit of psych out here. There's a potential here that we're going to have a fair little bit of back and forward, just trying to upset rookies as we see the second come down, and that's going to be fouled off down the left hand line from Carmel as the count goes equal, 1-1. Yep, Carmel, look, he's got a lot of strikeouts on the board. He likes the swing, he likes the contact, but he can sometimes be a little bit eager. As the next pitch comes, that's going to be fouled off once more down the left-hand side. He's going just a little bit early on these ones. So the count goes 1-2. Strikeout being threatened here. Zachary throws down, and that's fouled off once more. We're going to stay at 1-2. Carmel going for the left-hand line. Just trying to sneak that through the gap and push that past third baseman Astrodome. Zachary just working out where his line is. Pitch in, strike 3. And retired, 2 up, 2 down so far. Carmel goes down swinging on that one. Ron Hunt coming in now. Ron has, well, just at 22 years, he is amazingly the old man of the New York Mets, having the team acting as the core. Coming in, batting 270 here, right-handed, and facing Zachary here. Just balancing on the nerves. Pitch comes down, and that is going to go to the outside there for ball 1, 1-0. And just taking his time there. On himself, 10 home runs so far. Pitch 2, ball 2. 2-0 for Ron Hunt. And just another moment taken once more. And the 2-0 comes down, and that goes off the low ankle of Ron Hunt, and it's going to be a hit by pitch, and he's going to take himself up to first base. We have our first base runner. Ron Hunt getting himself up to first. Tim Hartnett is going to step in now. Just like Ron, 10 home runs for the season, but a little bit down on the average at 210. Here at the top of the first. And that's going on the inside as well for ball 1. Comes back again. Zachary just looking to find a way to get settled here. He has mostly been used in relief throughout the year. That comes down for ball 2. Goes for the inside low on that one. No decision once more from Zachary. Ball 3, trying to work it inside low for the slider, I feel. Ball 3, it's 3-0 here at the top of the first, 2 away. One runner over there on first, and Ron Hunt. Tim Hartnett casting the eye right down again, daring Zachary to throw him something hittable, and Zachary throws low and inside, not hittable, but the walk is drawn. Tim Hartnett takes himself up to first, pushes Ron Hunt up into scoring position. And with that, we are going to welcome Jim Hickman. Taking the practice swings there as he steps in from the left-hand side. Zachary just looking to find some stability, some rhythm, throws down. And that's fouled off again. There's just no strikes coming through for Zachary at the moment. It's a little bit wild on the outside of the box, a little bit predictable on the inside, but timing's not quite there for the Mets. and it is on that one. Strike one. So we go 1-1 on the count for Jim Hickman, watching his teammates at first and second. No score as yet, top of the first, 2 away. It's 1-1. That one comes down. Strike two. Crowd looking round anxiously. Jim Hickman, 51 RBIs for the season. As Ron Hunt up at second, Tim Harkness at first, but he's facing a 1-2 count. I think is that the first time Zachary's got him? No, we do have the strikeout on Carmel at second, but it's a loose one. And for Zachary, 1-2 comes down, strike three, and the side is retired there. 2 runners getting on, but nothing helping through with the rest of the team. So it's no runs on that one and no hits for the New York Mets. 2 left on base, no errors in the outfield, charged to the 45s. And with that, we'll take a chance to have a look at the lineup for the Houston Colts here. Leading off is going to be Glenn Vaughn, the shortstop. And following that, Joe Morgan from second base, batting second, and batting third, Jim Wynn from over in the left field. Rusty Staub will be batting fourth from the first base. Bob Espromonte, third baseman, will be batting fifth, and the rest of the middle of the order, Ivan Morel, center fielder, at sixth. Closing out, we have the aforementioned rookie in John Pachorek, and he's at right field. Catcher will be John Bateman, as we've already seen. He's trying to grab all those wild balls. Chris Zachary is going to be the pitcher, but it's going to be batting ninth. Welcome to the National League. Right, okay, the defensive lineup for the Mets. Across the top, Joe Hicks in left field, Duke Carmel in center, and Ed Cranepool out there on right. Al Moran is going to be at your shortstop. Ted Rogers, 3-2-1 across the middle. Jim Hickman, Ron Hunt, and Tim Harkness. Choo-Choo Coleman as catching, and Larry Bernard is going to be out there on the mound. Your 1, 2, 3, Glenn Vaughn, Joe Morgan, and Jim Wynn. It's going to be Glenn Vaughn that pops in first to get us going. And first pitch from Larry Bernard comes down, and that goes for a ball low. A little bit of a curve going on there. So it's Glenn Vaughn ahead in the count, 1-0. Taken once more. Bernard getting ready to pitch down, and there's ball 2. That's bottom of the zone there as well. And just gathers himself back up. A look round the stands here. It usually in relief starting off the game. It's a new one. Pitch comes down. Strike one. 2-1 there. And it's going to be the 2-1 comes down as through the center there for strike 2. 2-2 on the board as we go equal high there. Bernard just working the vertical to find out where they're going, but he's just going to have to be smart. Two and two comes down, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's Vaughn retired, and Bernard getting his first out. Joe Morgan is going to step in now, relatively new to the game. As we said, this is a whole bundle of rookies that are coming through and just trying to get themselves onto the radar for the team next year. And Bernard pitching down, Coleman catching, and catches that one there for ball 1. 1-0 for Joe Morgan. Taken, slight breath. Bernard throws down fast and hard, fouled off down the left as count goes equal low, 1-1. Pryor just passes out the next baseball. Coleman's actually rejected that one and has asked for another one. Bernard picks that one back up. On quick pitch to see that one fouled off by Joe Morgan there. Sneakily getting through there. Morgan is not happy with that one at all. Bernard just putting a little bit of the hustle on. It's just a shaking off whether you're here to play the game there from Pryor behind the plate. So it's a 1-2. That comes down, and that's hit. That is a hit, but it's going long and high. It's a stepping back. Jim Hickman from third base gets the glove up underneath that one there, and that fly ball's caught out there over at third base there. Joe Morgan heading back and joining Glenn Vaughan on the mat on a smartly hit fly ball going out to third base. Jim Wynn is going to be our next batter up now. 2 up, 2 down so far. The 2 base runners that we had for the Mets, they've not been met just yet. Jim Wynn, 243 for the season, and that's going to be a strike one through the center of the zone. Pace, I think, they're coming from Bernard, just catching Wynn unawares. He's looking down. Morgan is still protesting down there in the dugout to the rest of the team, just making himself known. That's going to be an interesting matchup if they return there. And the one of those fouled off there from Jim Wynn, so we're going to take us to 1-1 there. As that's gathered back up again, Larry Bernard now throws down once more, and there's another foul off as that goes opposite field, right hand side that one there. A little bit of clip on it, maybe about 120 feet there. If you're going to head down there, it's 395 feet down the alley. 1-2, swing and a miss there, strike 3, and with that the side is retired. Tight defense from the Mets coming in there. This is side retired is in order. Zeros across the board, no runs on the board, no hits, no errors charged to the Mets. None of the Colts left on base. So we finish off the first inning, and it's a pair of ducks on the board. New York Mets still to score. Houston Colt 45s still to score as well. Are there times when you feel like you live in a dull grey box? Well, break out of the crypt with a fresh coat of paint and interior decorating from Tyrrell Interiors. Within hours, your home can be transformed to reflect your tastes. Don't know what your taste is? That's no problem. Tyrrell Interiors has a wide array of styles in its portfolio, including modern chic, urban elegance, and rural escape. To get a preview, visit the showroom on 57 Main Street to pick out the style you like best. Tyrrell Interiors, turning your house into a home since 1924. So we head into the second, and it's all square here at the bottom of the table clash in the last day of the season here on Sunday at the Colt Stadium. New York's Mets still to score, Houston Colt still to score, and it's the Mets coming in now, 6, 7, 8 in the order. Joe Hicks, Choo-Choo Coleman, and Al Moran are going to be stepping in now. Chris Zachary just taking a little bit of a warm-up here, 19-year-old here, and as he said there, the Houston team is really a young team tonight, just trying to get a feel of what these players are going to be able to do into the 1964 season. It's just the 8th start here for Zachary, all told, although 21 appearances, he's needing a little bit of work in relief. Okay, so Joe Hicks, Chuchu Coleman and Al Moran. Joe Hicks getting ready to step in and turns to face Zachary. It's the top of the second, and Zachary throws straight past Joe Hicks into the glove of John Bateman there for ball number 1. Zachary just trying to work out where the gaps are, where the spaces are. Paul Pryor just looking to set quite a tight zone at the moment. Hicks gets ready to see what he's going to see first. Zachary throws down a ball, heads to the inside low, trying to get that slider working once more. So it's a 1-0 count. Back to swing taken. Eye contact made between batter and pitcher. Comes down, and that's going to be hit. It's going out high, but falling a little bit short in the right field. And it's our first catch there for our rookie, as John Pacharik makes that a nice safe catch out there from the fly ball out to right field. And that's straight away. One back to the dugout as we're going to welcome in now Chuchu Coleman. Solid glove behind the plate, but our catcher is not a hugely productive, just 176 for the year. And that goes in for a foul there, high and over the backstop. Chuchu Coleman just taking a number of swings there. And comes down for the ball, 1-1. We're going to go equal low on that one there. Zachary just bringing the pace in a little bit more this time. Yeah, very much so. Fouled off. Scampering over the top there to take us to 1-2. Moment taken. And that ball goes in high. Count goes equal high just to join it, 2-2. One away so far here in the top of the second. No runs on the board for either team as the Mets are visiting the Colt 45s. And there's another ball comes in, so the count goes full, 3-2. Payoff pitch being considered. Zachary waves that one off. Waving that one off again. He's enjoying the fastball, so he's okay, decision made. Let's see what we're going to get here. And it's a grounder, and that is going to go actually down the first base line. That's going to be a comfortable pick up there. Rusty Stout grabs that, and it's 2 steps onto the back, and that's 2 away. And we're going to welcome Al Moran out from shortstop into the box now. Strength is out at shortstop. 2 away so far. Zachary throws down a ball there. Outside eye. Yeah, just the indication there coming from Pryor that that's going to be high. So ball 1-0. Wind up comes down, pitch, swing and a miss there for strike 1 as we go equal low, 1-1. Shake of the neck there from Moran. Steps back in from the left side of the box, gets ready to swing. Zachary's there with him, comes down, and that's hit high. It's going right field again, and it looks like, yep, John Pesiorek is the Pechoric. I'm going to get that right before the end of the game. Picks that one up there, and the side is retired in order of another fly ball out to right field there. No runs, no hits, and none left on base for zeros across the board. No errors charged either to the outfield of the Colts as we go into the middle of the second. Here, of course, at Colt Stadium, but it is the stadium that I'm going to say goodbye to, and we're all going to say goodbye to as well, as this is not only the last game of the season, it's also the last game we're going to be playing here at Colt Stadium, at least for Major League Baseball for some time. Anybody who has a little look just over the backstop wall will see a little bit of building work going on just now. Ground has been broken on something that's being called the Astrodome, and that's going to be open up next year for the Houston Colt 45s to do a baseball first, as it's going to be the first roofed stadium here at the MLB. And yes, we've read your letters. There's probably going to be a lot of debate. Baseball is the game for outdoors. Why are we playing it underneath? Nobody is quite sure. But there we are. It is a chance for everybody to experience something a little bit new when we get round to the season next year. Both teams, of course, are going to be looking to build up their rosters, and a lot of the kids here are going to be looking to get through. There's speed on the base pass if they can get there, but we got low batting averages all over. I mean, just have looked at, I don't think we've got anybody over 300 on either of the lineups. No, we haven't. We've got a 279. We've got a 279. That's probably the best there, and that's Joe Hicks, who opened up the so your 1, 2, 3 is going to be Rusty Staub, opening of Bob Aspromonte coming there, and rookie Ivan Morel. This will be his second game ever in the majors, and if you think that's going to be fun, batting fourth if we get that far, it's going to be John Pesiorek, and it's going to be major league debut, first chance to hit the ball as we go through here. Larry Bernard stays on the mound. He's going to be facing Rusty Staub to start off, and we start off with a foul ball there, high and over, so it's 0-1. Rusty Staub behind in the count. Bernard still throwing down to Choo Choo Coleman. Staub just deciding what he's going for. Here's the 0-1, comes down, and he's let that one go by. 1-1. So sweeping to the inside as well. Bernard just likes to work with the bottom of the box if at all possible. 6 starts so far. This is his 7th and a 58 out of relief. So when we're talking about some of their rookies, he's a rookie but not rookie in that. And there's a smartly hit, and that is just going to dribble. I don't even think good contact was made. Tim Harkness picks that up and literally walks over to the base on that one. Staub going away on an unassisted out at first base. Bob Aspromonte coming in now, batting 211 for the season with 8 home runs. No base runners as yet for the Colts. No scores either. Bottom of the second, no runs over as yet. Bob Aspromonte stepping in now to face Larry Bernard. First comes down, and that's going to go for a ball. Straight a little bit too low there. That's Aspromonte just letting that one go past. Said Larry Bernard, used to playing in relief. Colts manager will be taking a chance just to see how he goes as a starter. Ball 2 comes down there. Aspromonte can move up to his starting role in 1964, and that'll give him a few more opportunities. little bit of tension in the shoulders there as he squeezes the ball, gets ready to pitch down once more. And Astrodome watches that one go underneath and is going to draw the walk up to first base. So it's a first base runner for the Colts as Ivan Morel steps in, just his second game. A little bit of nerves showing in here. That resting on the back shoulder, wobbling just a little touch there. And watches that one goes past for strike one. Sits there bouncing on the ball of the free. Larry Bernard fast and straight into the glove behind him for strike two. 0-2 on the count. That's still seeing on Morel's shoulder. Runner at first, no run scored. One away here in the bottom of the second. And that's going to go in for a ball. Morel watches that one go past again. I don't think that bat's even left the shoulder. Bernard, confident, yes, down to catcher Juju Coleman, throws down. Now the heat is there, and that's going to be strike three. And Morel is just there, seeing four pitches, literally seeing them, watching them all go straight past him there. So that's two away. Bob Aspromone still out there on first base. And with that, we welcome in John Pachorek. First time playing in the majors. He's already had two fly-out catches there in right field, but now getting ready to take his first ever major league at bat, facing Larry Bernard. Little nod between the two of them. It's a moment that is going to stay in the memory of Pachorek. Whether that's going to be a good memory or a bad memory, hits that foul. It's going to be a bundle of first here. First contact made, and it goes pull down the right hand side. Bernard gathers that up once more. Not one, throws down. Fast and low there for ball one. Count goes equal low, 1-1. Bouncing the shoulder once more of the bat. Quite a high stance from Pachorek. Comes down, check swing there. There's a appeal to the umpire, and it's not been given. So let's take that as ball two, 2-1. Pachorek there, making the last minute decision not to swing. Correct decision made. Ball three comes down now, 3-1. So we're bottom of the second, one runner up there on first, that's Bermonte. None to score, two away. Bernard pitches, ball four, and that is going to be another walk drawn. And with that, Aspromone up into second base and scoring position. Pachorek, well, there we are. That's his first at bat. Well, this is going to be his first plate appearance there. Somebody's going to have to go. You're going to have to do it all again and see what your number one is going to be in the record books. John Bateman steps in now, catcher. Stepping in front of catcher Juju Coleman, facing Larry Bernard. John Bateman, strong season so far in terms of RBIs, 56 there, ball one thrown. Makes himself ahead in the count, 10 home runs as well, highest home run count of the Colts starters today, but just at 207 on the batting average. Swing and a miss there for strike one on the count. 1-1. Gathers himself up again. Colt's chance to get on the board here with nothing as yet from either team. Bottom of the second, 2 away, but 2 runners on. 1-1 comes down, ball 2. Bernard just working the bottom of the zone, sneaking towards the outside there. One more down from Bernard, ball 3, as that change-up just drops right out of the zone there. 3-1. Runners at first and second. Bernard shakes off the first decision by catcher Coleman. He's made the decision on that one. 3-1. There we are. It's hit fast line drive down the right field. Runners are on the move as it bounces. Astrodome is going to make it home. And there's 1 run on the board. Pachore comes round. The rookie is going to take his second run and his first run of his year. And we just head up. It's going to be a slide in from Bateman. And is he going to make it into third? Yes, he is. That's underneath the ball. Oh, big breath there as we've got 2 on the board, and cheers going there as everybody points and Pachorgan turns to the dugout there, making it all the way around. Now, what do we have there on that one? Line drive down there from John Bateman, giving himself a triple in the process. Deep down the right field line. Ed Cranepool having to watch that bounce off the wall before picking it up, doing the long throw over to third base. Jim Hickman just drawing off very slightly off the bag. Just Chris Zachary's coming in as pitcher. And ball 1 goes into the pitcher as well. So yeah, Aspromoni making a home on that previous play. There was 1 run. John Pachorek making it around 3 bases as well in that moment, so that's his second run, and John Bateman himself taking a triple there, and that's fouled off there as we have our pitcher for the first time in the evening. Larry Bernard is doing the hurling, Chris Zachary is doing the put the bit of wood in the way. It's a 1-1 count. And that's going to come down straight through the centre for a 1-2 count. 1-2 comes fouled off there and down shallow into the Mets dugout there. It's 1-2. Zachary. Zeros across the board in the batting lineup. And that is a swing and a miss there on strike 3, so it's going to stay on zeros there, and side retired for the bottom of the second, but not before the damage is done. 2 on the board coming off a 2 RBI triple from John Bateman, so it's 2 runs on the board. That was just the 1 hit there in the inning and the 1 left on base, so Mets don't receive any errors on that one as well, but they have fallen behind here in the last game of the season. And it's also the rubber game for these 2 teams as well. And it has been 2 games beforehand that have really seen a lot of scoring. One team doing a lot of scoring in 1, and one team doing rather a lot of scoring in the 7. Colts putting through 9 back there on the 28th, and then the Mets putting through 10 the day before that. Right then. Are there are times when you feel like you live in a dull grey box? Well, break out of the crypt with a fresh coat of paint and interior decorating services from Tyrrell Interiors. Within hours, your home will be transformed to reflect your tastes. Don't know what your taste is? No problem. Tyrrell Interiors have a wide range of styles in its portfolio, including modern chic, urban elegance and rural escapes. To get a preview, visit the showroom on 57 Main Street to pick out the style you like best. Tyrrell Interiors, turning your house into a home since 1924. You join us here. It's the New York Mets and the Houston Colts play game 1-6-2. We go into the top of the third. Mets still to get off the board, and Colts cheering up the crowd with 2 runs there in the bottom of the second to put them in the lead. We're going 9-1-2 in the order now for the Mets. Larry Bernhardt. So we finish with pitcher. We start with pitcher. Ed Kranepool top of the order. Duke Carmel, but it's Bernhardt who steps in first of all to face Zachary, and Zachary throws a fastball down there for the heat there for not 1 count. No changes in the defensive lineup that I can see as we head into the third. And Zachary picks that up, throws that down once more, strike 2. And brings himself down. And down once more, then we're going to get a ball on that one, so we're going to go 1-2 for Larry Bernhardt. That's pitcher is batting a 1-4-3 with a solitary RBI, so we got the lead off here, so no RBI potential. And the pitch is contact is made there, and that is going high around the left field. Jim Wynn is going to have to run back and pick that up. First base pass. Wynn throws in. Vaughn cuts that off at shortstop as Bernhardt passes second, goes in and slides in the third there underneath Bob Aspromonte. That the ball was never going to make that there in time. Just a little awkward bounce or 2 for Jim Wynn out there in the left field corner. And then making the decision actually to throw the cutoff rather than direct down to Aspromonte there at third base. And that's probably given Bernhardt just a few more feet to slide in there. And we lead off a runner for the New Mets. Gets themselves down there to third base, and we're back to the top of the order, so Ed Kranepool's going to fancy his chances here to do a little bit of damage. No outsides yet. Runner at third. There's a couple of options here for Kranepool, because Zachary throws down that pitch and it is going to go low in the zone. He's just trying to find the bottom of the zone but not quite finding it yet. Count goes 1-0. Takes a moment to gather himself once more. Zachary's doing a lot of disengagements. He's just not looking comfortable there. Steps back in. Pitch comes down. Contact made there, and that's going to go past Joe Morgan and out into the right field. There's going to be one of the runs comes home after that triple. Bernhardt makes it 1 run on the board for the Mets. And Kranepool gets himself an RBI single and cuts the lead from 2 down to 1 as the Mets get themselves onto the scoreboard. But Duke Carmel stepping in now, struck out in the first inning. Now has a teammate sitting out there on first. And first one comes down for a ball. Zachary just looking to, still trying to get that bottom of the zone worked out. Paul Pryor keeping it tight down there. And fouled off there down left side. Count goes 1-1. Carmel, 18 RBIs on the board for the season. Runner at first, and take a mighty swing to go anything there. Mighty swing there, it's not going further than the dugout for a 1-2. Settles back in. A little bit of bounce there. Zachary throws that to the inside, 2-2. Carmel took it to 1-2 before getting struck out previously. Runner at first. Mets cut the deficit. Mets 1, Colts 2. 2-2 comes down. Swing and a miss there for second strikeout for Carmel, and the second strikeout for Zachary. Love to see Carmel again if he's getting the strikes next to him, but no more. Ron Hunt stepping in now. Hit by pitch previously. Took him up to first before Harton is behind him. Drew the walk to bring him up to scoring position in second, but no further than that. Mets 1, Colts 2. One away so far, but one runner at first with Ed Grainpool. And foul down there, down first base. Count goes 0-1. Grainpool not taking a huge lead there at first. 2 outs be aware of, with one on the board so far. And that goes through the middle of the zone for 0-2. Ron Hunt previously got the 2-0. Now gets the opposite. For 0-2. Takes a moment, crowds waits. Hits that line drive, goes towards Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan picks that up, it's fit in second back, there's one away, throws down. Rusty Stalving. Time! 2 away, double play. And with that, the side retires. One run going onto the board for the Mets, coming from 2 hits. None left on base after that double play either. No errors charged to the Colts on the outfield there. And when we come back, it is going to be top of the order for the Colts as well. Glenn Vaughan, Joe Morgan and Jim Wynn stepping in to do that as well. So yeah, as we said there, the Astrodome next door is getting built just now, and we have had a lot of talk on everybody on what exactly it's going to be like playing under a great big dome. Are there going to be shadows everywhere? Are there going to be grids on the ground? Well, we hear from the Commissioner's office that it won't be the first game played there. There will be in the league. We're going to have a couple of exhibition games there as well. Rumours are that it's going to be the Yankees that pop down to inaugurate the dome, as well as the Houston team here. Of course, which players are going to be in that? There's a whole bundle of players here who will be hoping that they can get into that lineup. Somebody is going to have the first swing, the first hit, the first contact, the first run, the first home run from underneath the dome. For that, of course, we've got the World Series coming up here in KCBR. And that's locked in as well, so the final weekend, it's going to be the Dodgers from the National and the Yankees from the American. And there's one little number that the Dodgers will be hoping for. They are going into tonight's evening game against Phillies on 99 games. And I'm sure they'd quite like to get themselves into three figures. The Yankees, I think, 107, if I remember correctly. Don't have that one instead. 103. I'm told that they're on right now, so we'll see what happens for the evening. Right then, so Vaughan, Morgan and Wynn are going to be coming in now, and it's going to be the bottom of the third here. New York Mets visiting with one run. Houston Colt 45s, 2 on the board, looking to extend that now as the leadoff man comes in, thrown down by Larry Bernard, and that's going to be ball 1. Vaughan struck out in the first inning, coming off a 2-2 count. Worked that count high as possible on Bernard. And we'll just wait as see what Bernard is going to give us now. We're just going to have one going to the outside there, and that's going to be ball 2. Waiting to see the 2-0, just snicked there off the bat and into the glove. So that's going to be 2-1 on the board. Snick going on. And pitch foul over the backstop there. Takes us to equal high, 2-2. And the 2-2 comes down, and that's going to be watched by Vaughan as it goes to the outside and low. Count goes full, 3-2. Back in there, no runners as yet. 2-1 to the Colts, none on the base runners, none on land. That's going to be struck out after a little bit of a pause there from our umpire. Vaughan not particularly happy. 5th strikeout though for Bernard. And stepping in now is Joe Morgan. A little bit of an angry at bat previously. Bernard not given a lot of time to settle on the pitch coming through, and he stepped right back out of the batter's box. He's got to just trying to play the tempo games here. 261 coming into the game. Steps back in. Oh, Bernard throws down fast. Grudge coming on, 1-0 on the ball. Morgan just shaking his head, not happy with that at all. The baseball has no memory. Morgan needs to put that previous at-bat out of his mind and focus on what's going to be coming down the line now. It's going to be fouled. Pulled down left-hand line. Count goes equal low, 1-1. And just waits to see. He's just going to wait and let that one go past. Good eye as well, 2-1. Morgan steps back in. Watches that one as well, ball 3. Bernard's keeping them all low. Trying to go for the grounder. Through the middle, and that's going to be a walk up to 4th. Yep. And so Colts have another base runner. That's when he managed that in the second with 1 away. Joe Morgan's managed that in the third with 1 away. Jim Wynn steps in now, struck out previously. That's going to be ball one. And takes himself ahead in the count. Checking Bernard closely once more. Pitch comes, line drive, straight into the glove there. Tim Harkness at first and then, hold on. That's 2 outs being called. The line drive goes down. Tim Harkness picks that up. It looks like it was in foul territory. Gets his foot on the bag for a caught steal. Two away there. Great. Have fun with your double play there. Let's just put that down as 3 unassisted in foul territory on one bit of the card and a caught steal, 3 on the others. Well, 3 went into the batter's box, 3 outs after getting on there. That's a fun end to the inning there. Anyway, what's on the board? No runs off that one there. No hits either, with Morgan getting on base with the walk. No errors charged to the other team as well. So walk is drawn. Scrappy going on there. As I said, line drive straight into the glove of Harkness at first. Fair enough, and Harkness getting the foot back on the bag before Morgan made it back. Unassisted double play. Fancy that. Are there times when you feel like you live in a dull grey box? Well, break out of the crypt with a fresh coat of paint and interior decorating services from Tyrrell Interiors. Within hours, your home will be transformed to reflect your tastes. And if you don't know what your tastes are, no problem. Tyrrell Interiors have a wide range of styles in its portfolio, including modern chic, urban elegance, and rural escape. To get a preview, visit the showroom on 57 Main Street to pick out the style you like best. Tyrrell Interiors, turning your house into a home since 1924 here in Houston. Top of the 4th coming up, and for the Mets we're going to have Tim Harkness, Jim Hickman and Joe Hicks. And we are just going to pause here for station identification. Welcome back here to Colt Stadium. It's the last game in the 1963 season for the Mets and the Colts. It's the last game here in Colt Stadium as well. Tim Harkness stepping in for the Mets. Chris Zachary coming into the 4th inning as the starting pitcher. It's the 4-5-6 in the lineup and opens up with a ball there as he just tries to throw a little bit of a slider through there, but no go. Harkness drew a 4-pitch walk in the 1st inning. Now waiting to see what comes in now. It's going to be ball 2. Harkness 210 for the season. Pitch fouled off there. Hooked down the left line. Harkness just stepping out the right side of the box for a moment. So now it's back in for foul over the backstop there. That goes 2-2. And that's contact made, and it looked like he was going to go straight for Morgan, but it's underneath there, goes out for a line drive single. Harkness brings himself, and it's the first lead-off batter to get on base of either teams there. Jim Hickman comes in now. Jim Hickman struck out in the first inning. And fouls that one over, not in one. Missed that on the scorecard there, so it's actually 3 strikeouts so far for Zachary, 2 in Carmel, one of them on Hickman. He'll be looking to do the same here if possible. And that's going to go for a ball, 1-1, we're equal low. Runner at first, Tim Harkness. Mets behind by 1. Top of the 4th here. And that's a grinder going over to shortstop there. A little bit of a bubble there out of the glove. Throw over to first is not going to be in time. No, that's not. Harkness there heads up to second. There might have been a chance at second. But anyway, Hickman gets himself a single. 2 hits to open up the 4th inning on Chris Zachary. Runners at first and second. Joe Hicks comes in now. 279 for the season, but we're just going to be looking at those 22 RBIs. Runners at first and second. Ball 1 there, sliding to the inside. Joe Hicks, another one of the rookies that we have here in the lineup, a rookie who's not long celebrated his 30th birthday. Pitch comes down outside, ball 2. Late start in the majors there for Hicks. Will just be looking to stay in the big show in a 1964. And watches that one go past. It's high in the outside. It's ball 3. A lot of the players here, as I said, looking for an opportunity to take the... And that's going to fly up there, and it's going to fall in a Bob Aspromonte all the time in the world to pick that one up there over at third base. So it's 1 away. Runners stay where they are at first and second. Harness is second. Hickman at first. Going to welcome in Choo-Choo Coleman now. Run out at first base in the second inning. Swing and a miss on the first pitch there to go 0-1. Zachary there, goes towards Bateman, and that's the ball coming down there for 1-1, equal low. We're just glancing up to his teammates at first and second. Zachary gives him another ball, 2-1 after glancing at them himself. Harkness both taking a little bit of a lead, but not feeling particularly adventurous. There's space here. Zachary's going deep now into the 4th. Now she'll be getting there. Ball 3 comes down. Zachary still does not feel at all comfortable relying on the outfield. That's hit high, and that's going to go around over centre field. It's going to go over the head, and it's not going to be caught by Glenn Vaughan running back there at shortstop, and that is going to bring Harkness home from second, and Hickman over to third there as well. So game is tied. Coleman there getting an RBI single, taking us to 2 runs apiece. Hickman over to third, so we're getting the runners on the corner, and we've got manager coming out here, and I think that is going to be it for Zachary. He's going to be keeping a short lead in terms of his rookie start there, and that's just getting an applause from the Karen and waving him over. That will be Zachary's season. And coming on, we are going to be having Jim Umbrecht. He's taking a few warm-up pitches going through. And just one more. And with that final warm-up pitch, Jim Umbrecht is going to make the next one official, and he has runners at the corners. And it's Al Moran stepping in. Threw out deep to right field. Second fly to John Pasiorek. And there's ball one, comes down. And settles back once more. That comes down, and the steal is on. Choo-Choo Coleman heads up, and Choo-Choo Coleman is going to do a stand up to second base there. John Bateman electing not to throw. And Jim Hickman already at third base, so putting runners at second and third now. And that's going to come for a 1-1 count. And the 1-1 goes foul for 1-2. Amaran taking another moment. And fouled off once more down third base line. Runners at second and third. Tied game, 2 apiece here. Mets visiting Houston. And that swing and a miss strikeout looking there for Jim Umbrecht's first strikeout of the game, second out of the inning. Going to get our next picture v pitchers. Larry Bernhardt steps in now. The pitcher drawing a triple in the previous visit at the bottom of the third when he faced Chris Zachary. Different ends of the experience spectrum now. Jim Umbrecht is going to be who he faces. Throws down, ball one. Comes back again, Jim Umbrecht. Working this one fast. There's ball two. Asking for the same ball back again. It's a 2-0. Bernhardt with a 143 on the season. And fouls that one off. Takes us to 2-1. Takes a moment. Larry Bernard gets ready to swing. Contact made. Goes down left field towards Jim Wynn. Jim Hickman on the move from third. There's one over the base. You see Joe Coleman just passes it round there. There's going to be one more score. Long throw is Bernard. Goes from second. Tries to make third. Does the slide in. Goes underneath the arm. And it's a bad throw from Jim Wynn. And it's going to go wide and down the alley towards the dugout there. Stays fair though. And Bernard is gonna leans over to score, crediting it as a single, and then an advance over to third on an E7, but it's also 2 RBIs as well. Jim Hickman making a home to make it run number 3. Choo-Choo Coleman making it run number 4. And so there's a 2 away with a runner on third. Jim Umbrak not happy with his arm on that one there. Back to the top of the order, Ryan Cranepool, round out and a single. Watches that one for a ball. Goes 0-1. Umbrak with a strike and a single so far in his pitcher's book here in the bottom of the 4th, and the Mets are up by 2. 4-2 game. There's ball 2. And it's away here for Nax. This is the Colt Stadium goes a little bit quieter there, and that's contact, goes over ground, picked up by Stowe underneath Arjun Verbeck, runs over to the back there's pitcher and gets the out, and side is finally retired on that one there, but not before a hefty 4th inning. See the Mets take the lead on that one. 3 runs coming off 4 hits. And 1 left on base. Larry Bernard stranded over there on third. 1 hour charged to the Colts. There's a long throw from Jim Wynn back down to third to try and throw out Bernard. That was off target. Yeah, and with that, we'll head towards the bottom of the 4th with the Houston Colts 2 runs back and looking to get back into this game, final game of the season here at Colts Stadium. Are there times when you feel like you live in a dull grey box? Well, break out of the crypt with a fresh coat of paint and interior decorating services from Tyrrell Interiors. Within hours, your home will be transformed to reflect your tastes. Don't know what your tastes are? No problem. Tyrrell Interiors have a wide range of styles in the portfolio, including modern chic, urban elegance, and rural escape. To get a preview, visit your showroom on 57 Main Street to pick out the style you like best. Tyrrell Interiors, turning your house into a home since 1924. Bottom of the 4th, 1, 2, 3, Rusty Stowe, Bob Aspromonte, and Ivan Morrell. Larry Bernard is going to carry on the mound there. Take that into the 4th. Ground out for Starr, all coming off the foot of Tim Harkness at first base previously. First pitch goes, first ball, 1-0. Stab takes that. Eye contact made between pitcher and batter. Pitch, solid hit there from the Colts. Line drive down. Ron Hunt is going to see that on the bounce, and the throw is going to be more lazy one out of obligation. Harkness at first base as we have a base hit there from Rusty Taub. Bob Aspromonte stepping in now. 4-pitch walk in the 2nd. sees the pitch. Foul goes over the top of the backstop for 0-1. Bottom of the 4th. Mets 4. Colts 2. And there's going to be another single. That's going past Almiron in shortstop. Not quite past him actually, just takes a bounce there. Moran threats to throw over to Staub at second, but no, it's a walk-in to second base there. Two batters faced, 2 hits so far here in the bottom of the 4th. All the rookies in practice, short leash is going to be by both managers, although Ivan Morel, just in his second game now, and was struck out looking. And I don't even think Morel swung the bat once when he was up here. In the second inning, is going to be facing Bernhardt now. And that one's fouled off there. To go 0-1. Larry Bernhardt is playing a little bit at the bottom of the zone. 5 strikeouts so far over 3 2/3 innings. Ball 1 there. Sinks through the zone for a little bit of a curve. And back in hand. One more curve. Ball there. 2-1. Morel bringing himself ahead in the count for the first time. Pitch watches that one, ball 3. Runners at first and second so far. Houston down by 2 here in the bottom of the 4th. Morel's had one swing and foul off. 3-1 comes down, and that's contact. That's going to be a base hit on the third base line there. It's slow, but it'll do the job. And it's everybody else moving up 90 feet. It just trickles between third and first. I mean, technically it looks like a bunt, but it was definitely a swing on that way. With that, bases are loaded. Morel at first, that's Bromoni at second, Staub at third. No outs as yet on the board. Houston 2 runs behind. And into that we are going to welcome our rookie, John Pachorek. Trill walk in his first appearance, so still looking for an at-bat. And Larry Bernhardt just stepping back off the mound here. Rubbing the arm just a little bit there. Used to pitching in relief. There's a little test here as he goes into the 4th inning here. Anyway, settles down. Jurek steps in from the left-hand side of the box, gets ready to see. Pitch comes in, line drive, and it's going to go down the left field line. There's one home. Staub is there. Aspomoni's going to come round there as well from second. Morel's going to make it up to second base himself, and Pachorek there, just waving to the crowd. And how about that for your first hit in the big show? It's a 2 RBI single. And gets a teammate up into scoring position on second base as well. Staub taking off there. Aspromoni a little bit slower, but 180 feet themselves. 2 RBI single there from the Chorek. Well, first plate appearance was a walk in the second at bat there. That's going to be one for the books. RBI single. So we got runners at first and second. No outs as yet for the Colts, and this game is tied up at 4 runs apiece. John Bateman's going to step in now. John Bateman tripling and 2 RBIs previously. Fouls that first one off smartly over the backstop for 0-1. Triple here would drive in 2 of his teammates. and give them the lead. Go Ahead is up at second. Strawberries and Cream going to be over there in first. And watches that one go past for ball 1, 1-1. Larry Bernard throws the ball there for 2-1. Single, a single. A single and a single. 4 on the board so far in this inning. That one goes and cuts down, but outside of the zone, 3-1. Bateman has teammates at first and second. No outs as yet. Takes that one there. Single centre field past shortstop. Morel's going to decide to go for it. Punt to third, pass up to Deccan. There's a one more on the board there. And that's it. Colts take the lead. Ricky Morel gets his first run for the Colts. Bateman takes himself a single there with a cinched field going past Moran, and Hunt to go out there, picked up by Carmel, coming in sharply from the outfield to bring that there. Puts himself onto first. Chorek moves up to second, and with that there is and we're going to have a change now as Larry Bernard after a 4 2/3. It's a little bit of a cheer from the crowd, quite rightly too. Last game of the season and coming out of relief in previous games to open up now. And we are going to have we're going to have a change now. So Larry Bernard, just looking at who's doing the warm-up throws, that is going to be Ed Bauda. He's taking his Juju Coleman, just giving a little bit of, let's try and find all 4 corners of the box, or at least the way that our catcher sees them. And we're going to have a pinch hit come in here as well, just looking over. So that's going to be it for Jim Umbrecht. And we're going to bring in Al Spangler. Runners at first and second. Spangler with a 27 RBI and a 280 for the season. I remember we had a little route down. Joe Hinks at a 279 coming in. So best batter showing up in a lineup so far. Last warm-up is going to be taken now. So it is Al Spangler who is going to be facing Ed Bauda here. New matchup coming through here. Bauda's first pitch is going to be high, and that's going to be 1-0 on the count now for Spangler. Next pitch, fouled off from high in the zone, goes over the back. 1-1. Comes through, watches that one go high. 2-1. Spangler 4 home runs in the season as well for the Colts. Colts ahead by 1. 5-4 game here in the bottom of the 4th. So that one goes ball 3. Spangler waits for the moment. There he goes, and that is going to be a single through shortstop. Bounces in front of Al Moran, and he's just taking a look. Where do I throw? He's just going to leave that one there, as we're going to get a bases loaded situation. Al Moran thinking underhand throw to second. Leave Pachorik at third to try and make it home, and instead just freezes the play here. Al Spangler gets a single. Pachorik at third. Bateman at second, Spangler at first, bases loaded, and it is not Vaughan coming in. We've got a pitch hit coming in, so it's going to be Heat Runnels coming in for Glenn Vaughan. Runnels 253 and 22 RBI so far. Facing Ed Bauda, and first pitch goes for the ball. 1-0, brings himself ahead in the count. Runnels also just 2 home runs, so I don't think there's a big one here. Watches that one go past, 1-1. Bases loaded, 1-1, and that's hit high. It's going out to the right field. Ed Kranepool is going to get underneath that, and the runners go. Pechoric is going to head in from third base if he can. He's going to be over the line and in time. And that's going to be, everybody else is going to hold up there, but Pechoric from bases loaded makes it home from third. Second foot on home plate there as he gets 2 for a first day in the majors. Bateman is going to hold himself at second, and Spangler at first. Sack fly there for Heat Runnels. That's only the first out of the inning. 6 hits on the trot broken up there, but a sack fly brings 1 more home. 4 on the board so far. 1 away as we welcome in Joe Morgan facing Ed Bauda for the first time, and it's going to go for a ball just to the outside high, I think, on that one. And throws down 1 more. That's outside once more, not as high, so working to find the corner on a 2-0. Shakes that one off from Choo-Choo Coleman. Throwing this one, and that's strike foul. And that's going, not sure, but we got a 2-1 going. Runners at first and second. 1 away with Houston 6, Mets 4. And that's going to be watched strike through the outside. I wonder if Bauda's finding it now. Morgan not quite sure on that one. And comes in, and strike 3. That one is swung on and missed by Joe Morgan. So there we are. After all those hits on the trot, we've got 2 away. And Jim Wynn, 9th batter, into the box for the Colts. He's got runners at first and second. John Bateman in scoring position up there. Goes behind for a ball. Ahead in the count once more. Bauda's just making that time for going through. And that goes strike 1. And that's the outside there. Bauda finally finding that one there. Jim Wynn struck out looking in the first, ground out in the second, hits that one, it's going to go high, it's going long out to centre field, it's bounces in front there, so Carmel in the long throw. Bateman comes in from second, does the long run, he's going to take that, and there's 1 more over. Spangler is going to make it round and hold up it third base on Moran. It's the shortstop holding that, looking round, no more on that one. And applause there to Jim Wynn as the scoring keeps on coming here. He picks up an RBI single. John Bateman running home from the second. Now Spangler over from first to third, so we get runners at the corners. We go round the order. Rusty Staub opened up this inning with a hit. And then getting himself all the way around in the process. Fouls the first one off. Not in one. Runners in the corners, first and third. 5 runs on the board in this inning. 7 in total. Fouled off once more, not in 2. Staub behind. Runners at the corners looking to carry on a strong inning. 5 on the board for the Colts. And hits that one smartly. It's going up there. Tamartis picks that one up. Underhand throw to head, but it's going to be in time to the side. Is retired, but not before 5 on the board there. As the crowd waving everybody off there. Monster inning for the Colts here for their last game at Colts Stadium. 5 runs on the board there. A run of 6 hits to open up the inning. Another one after 2 outs there on Jim Wynn. So it's 7 hits in total. 2 left on base with no errors charged to the Mets. But a couple of deep hits going out there into the outfield. Some slow throws coming back in. Not in time. Allowing the bases to stay filled as long as possible. So we'll see what changes we are going to go as we go into the top of the 5th. And you're going to have Duke Carmel, Ron Hunt and Tim Harkness. Looks over, don't see any changes on that one there. Good chance to have a little look at what's coming up later on today. Well, we've got 2 evening games on the board, so we're going to bring you Cleveland and the Kansas. The Athletic there looking to finish off the season with the winners are Cleveland, and of course later on we've got the Phillies and the Dodgers. Dodgers at home looking to make that 99 win season into a 100 win season. Of course, it's not the end of the season. They're going to be heading off to the World Series Game 1 on October the 2nd. And actually, it was the Mets himself, swept by the Dodgers in the series before this one. They gave the Dodgers the distance over St. Louis. St. Louis now 7 games behind after the Dodgers putting on a spurt, and Cardinals not quite finding the form in the last 2 weeks of the season. We're looking at previous sweeps. Colts himself. Pirates were down here midweek. And Colts managing a sweep there. So last but 1 series was a victory, hoping to do that now, and they've got the best chance of doing that. 7 runs on the board. Mets just 4. They'll be looking to make that one up now. It's going to be facing a new batter as well. So Jim Umbrecht is just going to have the 2/3 innings, and it's going to be an inning where Colts took the lead. Turk Farrell stepping in now, and just going to be replacing Pete Runnels in the batting order. So we're going to have some fun and games. Yeah, Bob Lills is coming in to play shortstop now. Al Spangler just doing the pinch hit duties. Bob Lillis, there's another I in that name there. Right then, 1, 2, 3, Duke Carmel, Ron Hunt, Tim Hartness. Carmel is going up. 2 strikeouts facing Chris Zachary. See if he gets any difference now. Jack Farrell taking those warm-up pitches. And the actual pitch opens up with a 1-0 count. Just working there. Fastball going in high just to get a little read where that zone is. It's not there. Farrell, there's 2. Both coming in high, 2-0. And that dives low on a curveball, but it's too low there, so we're going to go 3-0. Carmel 240 for the season. And comes in for ball 4. And there's a walk up to first base. Carmel's first visit up there for the game. Ron Hunt stepping in now. Hit by pitch, opened up and got him on base before in the first. Ground out in the third. Farrell throws in another ball. Curve goes low. He's trying to establish what Paul Pryor's going to give him as a home plate umpire. Fastball high. 2-0. John Bateman catcher just doing a little wiggle of the hand there. I wonder if he just thinks it's close. 2-0. And that's going to be hit high. It's going to go towards right field. It's bounced on the ground in front of Jim Wynn out there in right. Carmel's making over at third, but he's not going to go any further as Bob Lillis picks that up close in as a shortstop. So Ron Hunt will take the single, bring Carmel over to third base and 90 feet away. That's going to bring tying run up to the plate in Tim Hartness. Drew a walk in the first and then took a single in the fourth. And that's another ball, comes in high from Turk Farrell. Runners at first and third, not away so far. That's 4, Colt 7. And that's going to be fouled off there. Goes high and over the back stand. Now Bateman running back as a catcher, perhaps more hopeful, so then just goes in. Just 1-1. Farrell throws in low and outside this time, but low and low, not low and outside. 1-2 on the count. 1-2, are we calling that good on the low outside? We are calling that good and low on the outside, yep. 1-2. Do hope the commentary booth is higher up next year. Fastball high and inside there. 2-2. Now on the count. Two and two comes in, swing and a miss. Strike three and out number one there. And we get our first strikeout there from Farrell. He's not got control of the zone yet. Still dealing with runners at the corners. Top of the fifth, Mets 4, Colts 7. Jim Hickman stepping in now. Strikeout and singles so far. And takes ball one. And that's high, but it's going to stay in the infield. That's going to be underneath Aspromori. It's going to take that one there. For the second out there, fly ball. Just stepping a little bit into foul territory, but Aspromori picking that one up as well. Two away. Runners at the corners for the Mets as they're chasing a 3-run deficit. Joe Hicks stepping in now, flying out and pop out. Reaching for the stars, but not reaching first base in these. Fouls that one right down the line past his dugout and to the outfield. Not one. Two away. He is the go-ahead run. Carmel at third, Hunt at the first to cut down the gap. And that's going to be hit high to the infield. It's going to be a comfortable catch. Bob Willis making his first impact on the game, and side retired there on another pop out there. So two runners left stranded out there on base. No runs, one hit, but nothing capitalized on there. No errors charged to the Colts on the outfield, and they'll have Coleman, Moran and Bernard when the Mets come back, but it's going to be the Colts with a 3-run lead now, looking to extend that. Bob Aspromori, Ivan Morel and John Paciorek. It's going to be your 1-2-3 when we come back for the bottom of the fifth. Scores around the league. Let's see what we've got. Big number of day games going on. Most of these running through in the fifth inning, but we had a late start up at Detroit. Tigers and Orioles, close game there so far. Tigers 3, Orioles on 4. Angels and Red Sox into the fifth there, and it's a 3-2 on the board. Washington White Sox. It's going into the fifth there. One of Washington 6 to the White Sox. Cubs playing. Just waiting to see that one come through. Just got a little wave off. That's going to be Milwaukee Braves, and nothing on the board for them. Cubs up 2 in Milwaukee for that one there. Minnesota out there in the Bronx, and it's tied 2 runs apiece there for the Twins and the Yankees. Pirates at Giants also tied up, also in the fifth, also 2 runs apiece. And Cincinnati and St. Louis tied in the fifth there as well, 1 run apiece. I'll keep you up to date with them as they go through. And yep, those evening games, Cleveland, Kansas City and Phillies over in LA. Colts 1-2-3, Bob Aspromori, Evan Morel and John Paciorek are up next. And they are going to be facing Ed Bauer, who's going to take his second inning on the back there. And that's going to up with ball 1. Bob getting ahead in the count. It's a young infield, young average all over, but as a 25-year-old, Astromoney's probably closest veteran that this game has to a captain for the Colts. Manning third base quite comfortably as he takes ball 2 there. Strong performance at third base, 48 RBIs as well from the box. Lead off batter here in the bottom of the 5th. And fouls that one off and over. Takes it to 2-1. Through a walk previously, followed by a single. Walk in the 2nd, single in the 4th. And watches that one go back for strike 2. There goes equal high, 2-2. Pitch comes down. Hit hard. Grounder goes past 100 second. Goes out to the outfield. Crane pulls there. He's going to just watch that roll around the ball. Just a long throw in. I don't think that's going to be in time. That's going to be a stand-up triple for Bob Aspromorty. Making it past 2nd and in the 3rd there. Wicked little grounder there under Ron Hunt. Hit 2nd past Crane pulling off the wall and into the little drainage out there in the alley, 360 feet to the wall here. And Bob Aspromorty putting himself into scoring position. It's a walk, a single and a triple for the game so far as we welcome in Ivan Morrell. Struck out in the 2nd. But a part of that long run of 6 hits in the 4th inning. 3rd on the stack there. That's 2nd in the stack here. And what he's already done the triple. And watches that one go past for the ball. 1-0. Comes down, swings that one foul. One and one. Comes down, one more swing, one more foul. 1-2. Morrell just in his 2nd game here. And watch, takes the ball on that one, 2-2. Fouls that one down, but there's going to be Tim Hartness going underneath that one, and he's going to, first baseman's going to catch that in foul territory there for one away and no opportunity for Aspromorty to make it down from 3rd. So that's caught in foul territory there. Rookie John Pecoric, newbie John Pecoric comes in, already having an impressive game, walk so far in the 2nd, single in the 4th, and it's in a 2 RBIs marched in on that one as well. As it stands, he's got a runner on 3rd of Aspromorty, 1 away, and the team is up by 3. Lets that one go for a ball. 1-0. And that's hit high. It's going to go over the head of Hickman at 3rd. It's going to bounce in front of Joe Hicks in the outfield, so the run is on coming in. Aspromorty makes it home. There's one more run on the board, and that's going to be a single and an RBI there for John Pecoric. 3 3 RBIs so far in the game, but more importantly, situation puts one more run on the board, so that's a 4 to the Mets, 8 to the Colts now. One away, runner at first. John Bateman stepping in now, face head bowed up. And that's going to be ball 1. Next comes down, swing and a miss there. It takes us to 1-1. Draws another swing there. It's going to be 1-2. See where Bauer goes with this one, and goes low for 2-2. Getting ahead of myself there. Count is equal high, 2-2. Shark winning out there at first base. 1 out so far. Another ball, 3-2. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at first. Colts 4 runs ahead of the Mets on 8. Bauer throws down, and that's well outside there, so that's going to be a walk drawn. Shark up to scoring position on the walk. Bateman up to third base. And we are going to have a pitching change here. And Bauer's just going to acknowledge the dugout there. And coming in from the bullpen, we're going to have Tracy Stallard. Tracy Stallard might actually stay in next time round as well. Manning 63. Still looking for a win in the majors though. Who are they facing actually? Let me just have a look. Yeah, Bob Lillis is staying in. Came in a pinch hit. So Spangler came in a pinch hit, then Lillis came in to replace Sanger to start stop, and Lillis is going to stay into bat. Those are the warm-up pitches. Just come down. Tracy Stallard. So we got a runner at second, Joe Pacharik, runner at first, and John Bateman. More warm-up pitches there. He's getting one more. Will Pryor at home. Mike Sakari at first, Frank Wolfson at second, and Ken Barkett at third, with the rest of the umpiring duties. Last warm-up pitches there. And Bob Lillis steps in from the left-hand side. Tracy Stallard opens up with ball high. 1-0. Lewis, very still batter. Waits to the moment for the bat to go. Swings at one foul. And that ball comes back up. Stallard. 1-0 and a 1-1. And that's hit well, goes down left field side, bounces in front of Pacharik at second, so Pacharik is going to be on the move from third as that carries on going down left field, and Pacharik is going to make it home. It's his third time over the plate there for one more run for the Colts. Bateman takes it up to second. He's makes the run into third. Is it going to be a bad throw in from Joe Hicks there? Another off-target throw from the left field. Where does that all leave us there? Lillis is going to be credited with the single and the RBI. And that bad throw is going to give John Bateman third base. Pachorek making it round, puts another one on the board. So, all told, smart hit down left field gives Bob Lillis a credited single. Throw coming back from Joe Hicks, off target. And that gave John Bateman the chance to get into third, but Pachorek already taken off after that bounce in the outfield. So, second run on the board in this inning. 9 runs on the board in total for the Colts. Pitch at times. Turk Farrell faces Tracy Stallard. And that's going to come in high for the walk. If he can get 3 more of those. Yes, I did slip up. It's been a long season, okay? 1-0. Stallard gets ready. Fastball, high, 2-0. Jack Fowles, the pitcher, stayed in the batting order. And now watches that one for ball 3. Strike 1 goes through there. Straight through the box. On the outside. We're all waiting to see what Tracy Stallard, who's dropped 2 more runs. Comes in for strike 2. Count goes full 3-2. Earl just feeling a little bit wary here. 3-2. Strike 3. And Colt's pitcher is going to be out looking there, and it's the first strikeout for Tracy Stallard. Joe Morgan stepping in now. And ball 1 there. Runner still at second and third. And watches that one go again. Stallard throwing wildly here. 2 in on the count for Joe Morgan. Here's 9. New York Mets 4. Ball 3. Get ahead in the count. You can see Morgan. He's struck out, ground out and singled so far. Hits that one foul. 3-1. So first base is open, 1 away. All set, 3-1. Through on the outside, so that's going to be Joe Morgan. Where Joe Moran is. He's probably in the crowd waving at Joe Morgan. Takes the walk and goes up to first, and that loads up the bases. Tracy Stallard put in a little bit of a jam. But Bowra not making it any better. Jim Wynn, RBI single in the fourth. Here in the fifth, he's got a bases loaded situation, so strong bat here would do well. Bowls that one though to open us up. 3, 2 and 1. Those bases occupied. Wynn lets that one go for a ball inside. Count goes equal low, 1-1. And that's going to be fouled off there for 1-2. Low on that one there for ball 2. Count goes equal high, 2-2. Single strike and walk so far on the pitching caliber Tracy Stallard here. And it's going to go outside for a ball, so we're all full here in the count. 3-2, foul outer action. Something's got to happen. Beat taken. Then doesn't swing there and will take the walk, and that is going to move everybody around on the bases loaded. Wynn takes himself to first. Morgan up to second. Lillis down to third. Bateman to score. So another one walked in to give us 3 in the inning. Rusty Staub stepping in now. What do we got? Ground out, single and ground out so far. Watches that one go wild inside. 1-0. And check swing there. 2-0. He's coming in with 44 RBI in the season so far. Check swing. Nope, he won. Crowd not happy on that one. 2-1. Foul there. Down the third base line. And goes 2-2. And there's outside and low. All 3. So once more, we're loaded up. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on the board. 3 runs in this inning. 10 so far on the board. Bases loaded, 3-2. Walk is drawn. And that is Stallard walking another run home. Bob Lillis making that up there. Morgan to third, Wynn to second. Staub walked up to first. And we go round the order. Obas Monte now. Led off the fifth. With a triple. Takes that, and that's going to be hit high out to right field. There's a lot of hope in there. Cranepool on the run, dives for that one, and it's into the glove there on the run for Cranepool, deep in the right field corner. Side retired on that one there, but not before another 3 runs on the board there. Actually, let me just do the double count on that one. Yep, it's 4 runs on the board, so it's 11 runs in total here in the fifth. That's coming off 3 hits. Long throwing error as well charged to the Mets outfield. 3 left on base with them loaded. So when we come back, it's going to be the Mets. Bottom of the order, Juju Coleman, Almiron, and I will see if Tracy Stallard stays in or gets a pinch hit going through for the 6th. Are there times when you feel like you live in a dull grey box? Well, break out of the crypt with a fresh coat of paint and interior decorating services from Tyrrell Interiors. Within hours, your home will be transformed to reflect your tastes. Don't know what your tastes are? No problem. Tyrrell Interiors have a wide range of styles in its portfolio, including modern chic, urban elegance and rural escape. To get a preview, visit the showroom on 57 Main Street to pick out the style you like best. Tyrrell Interiors, turning your house into a home since 1924. Couple of changes going on here for your 1, 2, 3 for the Mets in the 6th. It's going to be Chris Cannizzaro opening up, and Chico Fernandez is warming up as your pinch hitter for Al Morgan, and we're going to have Frank Thomas staying in by the looks of it as well in the hole. So Chris Cannizzaro is going to be facing Turk Farrell, who returns to the mound here for his 2nd appearance, and that's going to open up with foul over the top. Not one. Goes back through. Farrell, quite a short throwing action from him. And that's going to go through for it's a ball high, 1-1. And a little bit of a change-up coming through there, but it's in the zone. Tempting, but no. 2-1. Cannizzaro batting .258 for the season, 4 RBI, and that goes through for 3-1. Now Farrell not giving you a lot of time to identify the pitches. Comes down, swing and a miss. Count goes full, 3-2. Not a lot of speed coming off Farrell, but we've seen it before. When he just gets the eye just right, he can just play with you and then let the outfield do the rest of the work. Comes down, 3-2 is going to be put high up over the first base. Rusty Staub is going to comfortably get that one there over at third base there. So 1 up, 1 down. Chico Fernandez coming in now. Turk Farrell, a little bit of twist on the hips there before he puts his foot on the rubber. It's there now, and ball comes down, 1-0. And letting that one just fall away down to the ankles. Oh, that's right, we've got a Moran and a Morgan. That's where I'll be stepping through. 1-0. And that's going to be fouled off over the backstop. That's actually no, it's going to stay in fence. Bateman comes back and catches. And that's 2 away there. 2 up, 2 down. Little nod from Farrell to Bateman there. Just wanted to see what we were going to get here for Tracy Stallard. Tracy Stallard's been pulled away as we welcome in a pinch hitter. We're going to have Frank Thomas come in. 260 for the season, 15 home runs, 60 RBIs. Shall we say that there's a bit of production here, potentially, from Thomas. And that's going to open up with the ball. Farrell, we've expected, keeps that close stance and lets the defence do the work there as well. In particular, to stay away from the centre of the zone. That one's low and fouled down by the feet. One and one. Out 2 and 1, sails below the zone. Two and one. Comes down. And that's going to be hit high. It looks like it's going to be a comfortable catch for Ivan Morel there out in centre field. And yes, it is. 3 up, 3 down, 3 pops, 3 catches. And with that side retired in order here, the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, none left on base. No need for any errors to be charged there as well. And the Mets unable to catch any of that. 4 runs on the board for the Mets. It's 11 for Houston as they are going to be coming back. And we are going to be having the 6, 7, 8 Morel, Paciorek and Bateman waiting in the wings to get themselves ready to go. Round the order twice for the Houston Colt here. And we will just take a pause for station identification. And welcome back. Here is game 162 for the Houston Colt 45s and game 162 for the New York Mets. Season closing out. It's a 3-game series, 1 game apiece. So it's not only finish up your season with a win, it's finish up your season with a series as well. 1, 2, 3, Evan Morel, John Paciorek and John Bateman are going to be stepping up for the Colts. Grover Powell is going to be your new pitcher. JC Sal already stepped aside to let the pinch hits coming in on the other side is going to probably be replaced, and it is going to be Grover Powell coming in now. And it's going to be Ivan Morel stepping in first. 19-year-old rookie from Panama. It's got a bit of speed if he can get himself up onto the bases, which he's managed once tonight. And first one is going to be strike 1 as that goes through the board. Not in 1. Morel strikeout, single, and then a pop out so far in the game. Fouls that one just shy of the Mets dugout. Not in 2. And that's going to go through, leaves that one for the ball. Powell just looking to settle himself in. And pitches that one to the inside. Count is equal high, 2 and 2. Two comes down, swung on and missed there for strike 1. And Morel heads back. Expect to see him once more in the game, but with twice around the order, there might be a few chances to go. John Paciorek now in. 2 at-bats, 3 plate appearances in his majors career, and that's all today. What have we got so far? A triple, a single, and a walk. No, that's John Bateman. He's up next. Eager rookie there as well. John's had the walk, the single, and the single. Not to be sneezed out loud, the 3 RBIs in the mix as well. Notches that one go by for ball 1. And ball 2 comes down there as well. Oh, ball 3 from Powell. Shorak just waiting for the moment to swing. 2 for 2 so far. That's not it, but he'll take the walk. 2 walks, 2 singles so far. 1 away, but a runner on first for the Colts. John Bateman now, the aforementioned triple, single and walk. Stepping in now. And swing and a miss there to go behind in the count, not. And 1. And we're still looking to get his eye in. It's going to be a ball low, and curveball just not starting off high enough, I think. 1-1. Next pitch comes down, it's gone wild. Corrick takes off there. Brings himself up to second on a wild pitch. Powell just trying to find the footing again. It's 1-2, 2-1 count. Pitch comes, Bateman swings, and that's going up towards third. Picked up by Amal Moran. It's going to go over. Tim Hartnett picks that up in time. So that's your second out. Your classic 5-3. John Pachorek stays at second. Stepping in now, shortstop Bob Lillis. Sees a ball there to go ahead in the count. Runner on, up at second base, Job Corrick. Houston 11, Mets 4, 2 away so far. Sure, I could be remembering, you don't get yourself out at third is the rule of thumb. Lillis lets that one go behind as well. 2-0. Swing, contact there, that's going to be a base hit through centre field. Pachorik's on the move, passes third, he's going to make himself round there. Long throw comes in from Duke Farmel, it's not going to be in time, it's off target. I think he was going to try and throw cut-off at Ron Hunt at second, and that's gone where John Corrick is going to take 2 bases, and he's going to be his fourth step over home plate there. 4 runs for your very first game. Zachary is going to get a single credited as that hits out of centre field, and that off-target throw from Carmel out in centre down to Ron Hunt at second off target. So it's a single and an on the error there to take Bob Lillis up into second. That's another run on the board. 12 for the Colts, 3 times ahead of the Mets. As we go back to the top of the order. Jerk foul pitcher is going to stay in there. Fancy keeping that arm going. And that opens up with a ball. Powell just feels like he's always been behind in the count so far. Comes down, and that's hit straight back into Grover Powell, who's going to take that slight jog, and it's under to Hartness, and that is going to be side retired for the Colts, but not before one more run comes over the board. There, one run on Pachoric, making it over, and that is coming off the one-hit single from Bob Lillis. One left on base, the aforementioned Bob. An error charged to the Mets in all of that as well. So we are going into the 7th, 8 runs back for the Mets, and 9 outs to try and find that if they can. There are times when you feel like you live in a dull grey box. Well, break out of the crypt with a fresh coat of paint and interior decorating from Tyrrell Interiors. Within hours, your home will be transformed to reflect your tastes. Don't know what your tastes are? No problem. Tyrrell Interiors has a wide array of styles in its portfolio, including modern chic, urban elegance, and rural escape. To get a preview, visit the showroom on 57 Main Street to pick out the style you like best. Tyrrell Interiors, turning your house into a home since 1924. Going into the top of the 7th, it is the top of the order for the Mets as well. Ed Kranepool, Duke Carmel, and Ron Hunt. Not been particularly productive from these three, just the 2 singles between them and a walk. I mean, we're going to run Hunt a hit by pitch as well, so let's say that could have been fine, but 2 from 9. Top 3 so far, just banning triple twos. Jack Farrell, as you expected, is going to stay on the mound, putting in a bat previously. So Ed Kranepool is going to start off, and he's going to see to open up. A low ball, 1-0. Ahead in the count for Kranepool. Earl next to Bateman as his catcher, and hands that as ball 2 to the outside. And that short pitch frame, pitch arm, ball 3. Not what he's looking off to start off the inning. Three and that is going to be hit up there, and it's going to be caught comfortably. Bob Astrodome at third base, 1 away. So 3-ball count, but brings that back there as Duke Carmel. Strikeout and walk. Looking to get the bat hot, possibly the last time in the season. It's the 7th inning, you're probably going to see him again if we get some little production coming off there. Another ball though comes down. Farrell throws that one to the outside as well. One more ball. Farrell's arm just seems to be fading away now. 6 pitches, 5 balls, and just the induced pop-up. To see what comes down to the 2-0, and that's going to be hit high. There's going to be a run in from Ivan Merle, center field. He's going to have to dive, and yes, gets that right next to the ground into the glove. Called a fair catch there from our outfield umpire Frank Walsh, keeping an eye on that there from second base. 2 up, 2 high, 2 away. Ron Hunt comes in now. Hit by pitch in the first inning, then ground out and single, probably the most productive of the top 3 of the order. goes in. It's to the inside this time for a ball. Small twist to the shoulders there from Farrell. Short, small wind-up, throws down, and that is going to be ball 2. On Hunt, waiting for the one to throw. 2-0. Foul. It's hit high over the backstop. It's 2-1. And the pitch. Bowled. Inside, being indicated there by our chief umpire Paul Pryor. 3-1. Pitch comes. Base hit, line drive through the centre. And jogging in to get that over Morrell. Keeps everything on a short leash there, but Ron Hunt takes himself up to first. Gives him help 2 for 3 in the game so far. Tim Harkness is going to step in now, 2 away. Mets on 4. Colts on 12. Top of the 7th here at Colt Stadium. And that's going to go for a ball. Well, everybody's feeling a little bit holiday happy here, and everybody's getting ahead in the count, but not much production. Jack Farrell ready to take that one down for ball 2. Harkness just waiting for the time to open up the 4th with a single. That came off a 2-2 count. And there goes another ball, so it's 3-0. Farrell went 3-0 with Craigpool before getting the pop out there. He'll be hoping for the same. Harkness swings, and that one's going to go high. It's going to go into foul territory down there, down the left field. And passed into the crowd. Somebody's got themselves a souvenir from the bat boy. Back to the 3-1 count. Harkness swings, and that's going to ground out to second base. Underarm throw. First base there, picked up there. Morgan to Staub, doing the 4-3 combo, and that is that for 7th inning. One hit there, but no more made of that. No runs, no errors, and one left on base. So 2 innings and 6 outlets for that 8-run lead to be caught up on. That is assuming that the Colts don't put any more onto the board. Bottom of the 7th is going to be Joe Morgan, Jim Wynn, and Rusty Staub. 2 finished games here coming in as well. And that is going to be Senators at the White Sox. White Sox taking their last game of the season on the road, 2 to Washington, 7 to the White Sox. And also finished is going to be that game over at the Bay. Pittsburgh Pirates 2, San Francisco Giants 3. Just one more run in the last 4 innings, and that's going to San Francisco. So those teams going there to San Francisco, it's probably going to guarantee them 3rd place in the Nationals. St. Louis are pretty much guaranteed to be taken. Cincinnati could sneak up on the Giants. No, they were 1.5 back. So yeah, that's it. Giants taking 3rd in the Nationals. St. Louis are going to take 2nd, and the Dodgers, as we know, already through to the World Series. Okay, who do we have for the Colts coming in now. Joe Morgan is going to lead us off here. 2 walks so far, strikeout and ground out, so 0 for 2. Grover Powell is going to stay on. Powell himself, so a walk and a single in the 6th. And bottom of the 7th. Joe Morgan is going to see a ball come through for ball 1. Powell just moving around a little bit before stepping up quickly under the rubber set, and ball 2 turns up out of that one. And ball 3, peppering the outside low corner is our Powell. And throw sharp again, ball 4. And there we are, another 3rd walk drawn. Joe Morgan. None of them is the lead off though. Jim Wynn stepping in now. One hit, 1 walk. 1 ball. Joe Morgan up on first. Houston up by 8. Mets 4. Colts 12. Now out so far here in the bottom of the 7th. Runner at first. As that one goes foul. Counts equal low, 1-1. And that goes hefty inside with Wynn just snatching the belt back to get out of the way. 2-1. And Powell brings in once more. Ball 3. One already walked from a 3-0 count. Powell now with a 3-1. And goes cricket wide behind the waist of Jim Wynn. Not particularly happy about that one. Little nod as he passes. But 2 walks, runners to first and second. Rusty Staub now coming in there. Normally you would look to the bullpen at this point if you were the Mets, but your normal closer was Larry Bernhardt, and well, he's been tried out as a starter, so I mean, it is last game of the season. Powell might go the distance here. And ball 1 comes down. It's the inside line, but still not quite getting the mark. Ball 2. Staub, as I said, with the walk previously, 2 ground outs, and the single. Fouls that one. High and up and over, 2-1. Runners first and second, smart head. That's going over, it's picked up by Warnhunt, puts the foot on the bag at second, though. It's going to be an out there. The force out for Jim, but Staub's going to make it over. It's a first, he's going to get Joe Morgan driven over to third as well. So we got runners on the corners with 1 away. It's going to be called scored as a fielder's choice there and Staub, but situationally, the Colts 8 in the lead. Runners in the corners looking to extend that lead, if at all possible. So Astrodome coming in, a walk, single, a triple. Self's made it over 3 times for home plate, and it's going to open up here. Ball 1 coming down from Powell. And gets the ball back in the glove thrown up from the catcher. Here's Canizaro doing the duties there. Ball 2 comes down. And picks that one back again. And that goes foul, 2-1. One pitch comes down. Ball 3. 3-1. Good to feel Astrodome with just the one away is thinking about getting the big hit in here. Carmel and Cranepool all playing deep. Fouls that one high down the first base line. Takes us to a 3-2 count with 2 runners on, 1 away. Mets looking to keep the game as close as possible and not have any more come on board. Three-two comes down, and that is going to be hit strong, but it's going to be a force out at second, but Morgan is going to make it round from third, so it's going to be Bob Astrodome up there with an RBI hit going through. The easy force out there at second base on Rusty Stow, but not before Morgan. It's another run on the board. So with that, we're just going to have Bob Astrodome sitting there on first, Rusty Stow and a force out. 2 force outs in 2 batters for Ron Hunt there. So, runner at first, 2 away. 9-run lead for the Colts. Rookie Ive Morrell comes in. 2 for 4 so far. Takes a ball. 1-0. And that's hit smart. It's line drives it down to the side. Ron Hunt picks that one up in the dive, scrambles over, puts his hand on the bag, and that is going to be the 3rd out. Is that the 3rd out from a force out at second, coming from the glove of Ron Hunt? Last one needing a diving catch and then a stretch out with the arm to make that through. So FO4, FO4, FO4 going all the way through there. So what do we get at the end of that? 1 run there, not coming off any hits, in the 1 left on base, no errors charged. Everybody else just let Ron do all the work quite clearly. And with that, Houston 13, New York Mets 4. 9 runs to find, 2 innings to do it as we head into the 8th. You're going to have Jim Hickman, Joe Hicks and Chris Canizaro. It's your 1, 2, 3 for the Mets, looking to chase this down in the last game of the season. Later on tonight, we will be bringing you that final game, which will give you the time. It's probably the final game finishing of the season of Philly taking on LA. Dodgers looking to get 100 games and tick the clock over before they head to the World Series in 4 days' time, where they will face the 104-57 Yankees. whether they hit 105 or stay at 104, well, it's kind of immaterial. You want to just rest the side up and take it easy if you can. Actually, can we just check on the score on that one? Okay, so that one there, Minnesota Twins are ahead of the Yankees going into the ninth. It's a 6-3 game there. Where are we here coming in now? So Jim Hickman coming in, finish off his second full season with the Mets, one of the original of the 62. A rough season. That's not really been able to get everything connecting. At 229 and the line score is not one that he's going to be wanting to take away into the postseason. It's going to drop as well on a 1-for-3 game here. And we got Jim Dixon replacing Turk Farrell on the mound. And that one's going to come in and bat it off foul. Hey, we finally got a pitcher that goes behind the count to open up. 0-1 there towards Jim Dixon. And ball one for 1-1 count. Mets themselves find themselves stranded at the bottom of the National League. They are right now 46 games behind the Dodgers. As we see another ball come down for 2-1. Dixon just looking to, looks like he's trying to just sort the outside high corner. Get some speed coming off the fastball if possible. Brings the 2-1, goes the outside again, 3-1. So in terms of Houston, they are locked in at 9th in the placing. Right now, 33 behind. And next up, yes, we get that one. Going strike two. Been hoping for a walk, but not drawing it. Payoff pitch from Jim Dixon. And that's going to be hit high there, and it's going to head out to John Pachorek, hero of the game so far, and he makes that catch out there in right field. One away. Joe Hicks stepping in now. Everything he hits went high, everything he hits went into a glove. Jim Dixon throws down. Good cheers from somewhere. Anybody? Nope, we just have a random cheer in the crowd. Dixon steps back onto the rubber. And that's swinging strike one. Joe Hicks also goes behind. 0-1. Dixon ready for the next. Foul. 0-2. And gathers once more, not two, on the ground, and that's just going straight over Rusty Staub at first base. What's that himself? 2 away. Smart inning so far from Jim Dixon. Chris Canizaro steps in now. Lets that one go by for ball one. 1-0, comes down, and that's going to be hit high, but that's going to be Clive Morrell waving the rest of the outfield off, and he's going to take that into the glove there, and just tosses that back into the stands as well. Fly ball out of centre field with that side retired. 3 up, 3 down in order. No runs, no hits, none left on base. No effort needed out there in the ground game, so no errors charged to the Colts out there either. And we'll head into the bottom of the 8th now. 9-1 lead for the Colts. 3-game series, 1 game apiece, but Colts in control here in the last game they will play at Colt Stadium. One good swing of the bat, you can probably get the ball into the scaffolding that will eventually be the roofed Astrodome. The roofed Astrodome. Eric, where are we? Yes. Are there times when you feel like you live in a dull grey box? Well, break out of the crypt with a fresh coat of paint and interior decorating services from Tyrrell Interiors. Within hours, your home will be transformed to reflect your tastes. Don't know what your taste is? No problem. Tyrrell Interiors have a wide range of styles in its portfolio, including modern chic, urban elegance, and rural escape. To get a preview, visit the showroom on 57 Main Street to pick out the style you like best. Tyrrell Interiors, turning your house into a home since 1924. Bottom of the 8th, and we get John Paciorek, who's 2 for 2 so far, and 2 walks in there as well. John Bateman, after that, triple single walk and ground out. And after that, expecting Bob Lillis up. Actually scratched that. Yeah, we are going to have John Paciorek coming in there, but we've got David Delsh on deck, coming into a pinch hit for John Bateman. Go get underway now as Paciorek steps in from the left-hand side. What else do we have? And that's going to be Grover Powell's first ball. And Powell once more going behind in the count. One more change actually to pick up on there. Ted Schreiber has come in over at third base. So another rookie getting a chance on the board for the end of the regular season, and of course for the full season. And that's going to be hit strong by John Paciorek, and that goes out left field. Joe Higgs having to watch that bounce in front of him there, and that is a single on the board. John Paciorek there, lead runner. That's the first, lead runner. Lead batter comes in, gets up to first base. It's going to be our first base runner as well, and that's hit smartly up to left field. Bottom of the 8th here for the Houston Colts, and they're ahead of their visitors by 13-4. David Delsh, pinch hitting here in the bottom of the 8th, watches the ball come through. If you're sitting there, folks, is that Grover Powell going behind in the count once more? That's Grover Powell going behind in the count once more. Paciorek taking a little bit of a lead over at first. Pick-off attempt there, attempted, but it's going to be not in time. Paciorek diving back there. Dave Aldash, of course, rookie coming in here late, so it's no average, no home runs, no RBIs, and ball 3. Watches that one go past. Zara just asking the umpire where placing is and getting a going low on that one. 3-0. Strike one goes through the zone. Just at the bottom there, grazing. Nesha missing that one with the eye. Runner at first, no outs. 3-1 comes down. Hit smart, oh, it's straight into the glove hook over Powell, turns right, Ron Hunt, there's the force hit second down to Tim Harkness, and it's going to be in time as well for a second out double play going on there. That's that smart hit there from Aldash, but straight into the glove of Grover Powell. Spins back round. Ron Hunt there covering second base for the force out there. Roger Pachorek, and then down for the double play to get Aldashi at first. So 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. Bob Willis is going to step in now. Bases have been cleared. 9-run lead. And he meets that with Powell going behind in the count, 1-0. That one there going for the height though, Bob Willis. Kent, 9 runs to the good, but we'll be game with 3 singles so far. We'll be hopefully looking to make that as a 4th as we get another outside coming down. 2-0. And 3-0 comes down there. Plenty time here if Wills wants to take the swing on it. We'll wait and see if he does. 3-0, it's the walk. And we've got another wave to the crowd. That's probably Paul Willis, the last bat of the season, unless the Mets take the M and turn it into a miracle. 9 behind here as we go back to the top of the order, but it's going to be Jim Dixon staying in there. Came into pitch previously, but it's going to take the at-bat here. Probably just to make sure he stays in for the top of the 9th. Let's see what we're going to open up with here. It's going to be a foul. Powell gets himself ahead of a count for the first time in quite a few, it has to be said. Not 1 on the count, runner on first, 2 away. Colt 45's come to the lead in their last game here at Colt Stadium. And that's going to be hit high, it's going to go into foul territory, and it's going to be Ted Schreiber who just stepped in for third base, taking that one there as well, and side retired out in foul territory there by Ted Schreiber. So 8 runs down for the Houston Colt 45s, and they put 13 on the board, but nothing in that one there. Single hit managed though as John Pachorek takes his opening day to 3 hits, followed by the double play. Right then, so we are going to go in the top of the 9th. It's going to have 3 outs to find 9 runs to tie. Time to go ahead. And they are going to have Chico Fernandez opening up. Grover Powell, potentially, though I can see just looking down, yet Dick Smith is going to be stepping out there to do pinch hitting duties. That'll be Ed Krampel. So it's going to be an 8-9-1 in the order. Final game scores coming through. We're going a bit long here. So final scores that we have coming through from the rest of the games in the final day of the season here. Detroit, Baltimore. That's final score, 6 Detroit, 8 Baltimore. Angels at Red Sox. Red Sox sneaking in 2 runs in the final few innings there to go. 3 to the Angels, 4 to the Red Sox. White Sox posting 7 against the Senators, so it's a 2-7 game there. We'd already read that one out. Cubs 2, Brewers not able to find anything in the first 5, going out a 4-1 finally, but the Cubs taking final there. Twins taking on the Yankees. It was a tie game when we were earlier. It's now 6-3 to the Twins. Yankees no doubt resting the bullpen ahead of the World Series in 3 days' time. We had a final score already from Pittsburgh to San Francisco. 1 run up, the Giants take that one over the Pirates. And final game on the board, Cincinnati getting into the end third to put them on 3 against the Cardinals 1. 2 games left on the roster. Cleveland and Kansas City this evening, and Phillies at LA. We'll see how much effort the LA put in, given they'll be joining the Yankees there. Right then, we are top of the 9th here. 3 outs left to go, and it is going to be Fernandez, Smith and Kranepool that are going to open up to do that. John Bateman's going to step out of the catching duties, and Dave Adler should come into pitch hit, is going to stay there as the catcher. Pinch hit for John there, and Dave carrying on there as we go through. So we are underway. It's going to be Chico Fernandez. Fouls that one off. Goes behind in the count. 1-1. Small crowd here. We do have final attendance numbers coming in here. It's not quite a dead rubber because there was the series in play. So we get ball 1 going through for a equal low 1-1 count. Total attendance at the end here at Colt Stadium is 3,899. We'll see how the opening day at the Astrodome is in March. I suspect it will be slightly higher as Dixon throws down for ball 2. Scores at the belts inside, 2-1. Yes, we're going to get a roof next year, but are we going to see any more going in high? There's ball 3, 3-1. Dixon coming in for his 2nd inning of work here. It's ready for the 3-1, and that comes down. That's going to be picked up easily there by Joe Morgan, and Rusty Staub takes the fast throw over at first for 1 away. Your 4-3. Dick Smith stepping in now, pitch hinging for Grover Powell. Top of the 9th, 9-run deficit, 2 outs remaining in the season for the New York Mets. Dixon just takes a moment. You catch it here, Aldash throwing a signal that's been shaken off. The second one's been shaken off. And comes down fast, strong hits going out to centre field, but it's not going to be caught by Morrell. He's just going to run short of that one, so it's going to be a single. A little bit of depth on there, but Morrell playing so deep couldn't get in to catch that one, so just has to let that one bounce in front. Just the 2 outs, so Smith not risking either of those. I'm going to sit there at first base. So it's back to the top of the order with Ed Kranepool. Just easing the bats coming through here. That's opener. It's only 1 for 4 in the game so far. Not having the greatest of games to close out the season. Dixon throws down, and that's outside high for ball 1. 1-0. Runner at first with the teammate. Infield coming in close. See outfield coming in as well. That's ball 2. or if they fancy themselves looking for the double play here. Happy to leave the gaps and keep the bodies inside. Finish up strong. It's a 2-0. Count comes down. Fouled down first base line. It takes us to 2-1. 2 outs remaining for the Mets to make a difference. It's 1-1 in this final series of 3 here. Ball comes down for 3-1. Goes to the outside low. Winner here. Well, the Mets will still be 10th, Houston will still be 9th, but they'll go into the postseason with a win. They'll finish off in the series as well with a 2-1 as it goes down, and that's going to be fouled down, so the count is going to go full here with 1 out. As we are waiting there. Final plays here. 9 runs needed to find. 2 outs to find them. Greenpool ready, Dixon throws down the payoff pitch, and that's going to be hit fast. It's going to be picked up there by Joe Morgan, thrown over to Bob Lillis. There's one at second, goes for the throw at first, and there we go, double play. Rusty Staub takes that out. Ground ball heads to Joe Morgan at second. Short throw to Bob Lillis from short, covering second base, and then snap fast down Rusty Staub. Glove out, stretch out, and into the leather, and that there. The second out at second, it's the third out at first. And that's your 3 outs, that's your inning, that's your game, that's your series, that's your season, at least for the New York Mets and the Houston Colt 45s. Final tallies there on the board. New York, just the 4 runs coming in the 3rd and the 4th innings, but no more after that. Houston having a stormer of a 4th and 5th, popping up a 5 spot and a 4 spot there, and that gave them a lead which they extended slightly in the 6th and 7th, but takes them to 13 runs on the game. Having a look through what we have there, it is going to be a Houston team who finished 9th, but a lot of promise there in the rookies, and they of course aren't going to be playing here ever again as we say goodbye to Colt Stadium and look over the grandstands to the Astrodome waiting next door for us there. Keeping an eye out on there. Ron Hunt picking up a 2-for-3 game for the Mets, but they're probably going to be looking to Chochu Coleman for the RBI single. Is probably the best bit of production, but Larry Bernard's triple off the bat of the pitcher gave them promise, but not coming through. And the Colts signed well that 4th inning, 6 hits coming off the first 6 batters. Pretty much broke open the game, and they didn't look back from that one there. Got some good performances going through, but I think the nod has to go to Pajoric, who's sitting there off 3 for 3 and 2 walks on there on 4 trips to the bag. Not bad for first game. Okay, final scores on the doors as we go over. New York Mets, 9 hits on there, 2 errors, and finishing up with 6 left on base for 4 runs final. Houston Colt 45s, 13 hits, all of that, 2 errors charged to the team, 7 left stranded out there, but 13 runs on the board gives them a final day victory to take into the off-season. Okay, baseball's not over, of course. World Series coming up starting on Wednesday as the New York Yankees look to do 3 in a row, 1961 and 1962 pennants already flying there over Yankee Stadium, and they're looking to add 1 there. Nationals champions, of course, will be the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they will be looking to, they need to get some pennants on there that have got LA on them rather than Brooklyn. And that is that for the season. I'm Ewan Spence. Thanks as always listening to the 162 games. How many left of the 7? We're still to find out. So join me back here on Wednesday as we have game 1 of the World Series. But for now, from Colt Stadium, That's 4. Colts 13. Ta-ra for now.
Houston would open the 1965 season in the Astrodome, the world's first multi-purpose domed stadium. Jim Umbrecht's 2/3 on the mound earned him the win in the final game of his career. He would die of melanoma 5 days before the 1964 season. Houston would retire number 32 in his honour. John Pachorek's 3-for-3 batting line with 2 walks, 3 RBIs and 4 runs scored was called a perfect day for a rookie. He underwent back surgery and never played in the Major League again. With a batting average of 1,000 and no outs, it remains the greatest one-game career of any Major League player.